Okay, solutions for Microsoft Access June 2014. So DB1 is create a new table called pay scale. That includes the following fields. So pay scale, doesn't really matter if it's in capitals or not. I'm just going to put it in capitals simply because it's in capitals in the paper. Pay per hour, again, I would say that capitalization is not really an issue. Just make sure you get the data type right. Pay scale level, and it is a number field and it must be a byte. Select an appropriate primary key. So if I look at the fields here, which field would a value be different for each record? So pay scale level, I'm going to set that as the primary key, and your screenshot will be, you can either take a screenshot of each field or you can take a screenshot of the pay scale level with the field size shown. So that's DB1 and that's 5 marks. DB2, open the staff table in design view. So open it in design view. Enter a default value for staff start date. So when a staff member joins the business, their start date will be recorded. So I guess two things you could do. You could either, in default value, you could equal date, open bracket, close bracket, which puts in today's date, or you could put in an actual date, but that date's then fixed in time. So I could put in today's date, the 11th of February 2015, but obviously that wouldn't change. So it's probably more appropriate to put in date, open bracket, close bracket. That's your screenshot. DB3. So DB3 is a form. So you're creating a form for staff. So create, use the form wizard, and you need staff ID, surname, first name, email, contact number, job title, start date, leaving date. Now this last field, days of service, is what's known as a calculated field, and you will use a text box in the form to generate the value for this field. So go next, next, and finish. So now what you have to do is you have to customize the form to make it look like the form shown opposite. So you must make sure you put in exactly the right form title, because there will be marks for that. Now you must also customize the labels for each of the fields within the form. So you'll notice on the form they have taken out the start of each label. So if they've taken out the staff bit, and there will be a mark for that for sure. Now again, I would try and get the form looking exactly like it appears on the question paper. So start date and leaving date across here. Just move this paper out of the road a wee second and put in a box. Let me see now if I can find it. There we go. So put a box around that, and again take out the staff bit and put spaces between the words start date and leaving date. And then the last field is days of service, and that's a calculated field. So you put in a text box for that. And this is an unbound field. An unbound means it's not attached to a field in the underlying table. So this is days of service. And that is going to be equal to this calculation here. So staff leaving date minus staff start date. So all you do is double click inside the box and put equals in front of it, and it does the calculation for you. Now it's probably shown invalid syntax because I've copied it from the the PDF file, and I just need to put a proper minus sign in, and that should work. And the last thing I had to do to that was to change the background color of that cell to grey. And use the form to add a leaving date of 01/05/2014 for Susan Smith. And if I just go to the form and change the view, and if I find Susan Smith and then put in a leaving date, it should then calculate the value, and that is my screenshot. So that is DB3. DB4 is a query, so create query design. And just with the window size here so I can see the question. So create query design, and I need the customer, the house, and the service tables. And the fields I need in this are customer surname, customer first name, customer contact number, service number, and request date. Sort the results in alphabetical order by customer surname. So it's A to Z, ascending. And it says create a query using the customer, house, and service tables to identify those customers for whom a completion date has not been entered. So I need completion date in there, and I need completion date. The criteria is has not been entered, so is null, and is null just means the field is blank. So I can only identify those requests that occur on or after the 1st of January 2014. So greater than or equal to the 1st of the 1st 2014. So that's my query. If I just run that to make sure it works, now it asks for the query in design view, making sure all the fields are visible. So make sure you don't have any truncated fields, i.e. only half the criteria shown. So you just need to widen all your queries out, and that's your screenshot. Okay, that's DB4. And good practice to print it as you do them. On the day of the exam, the invigilators will drop the sheets round to you. So DB5 is a report. Now remember, when you're doing a report, always try and do the query first. Do as many calculations as you can in the query, and then the report is just a way of displaying the results in an appropriate format. So for this one here, I need the service table, and in fact that's the only table I need. So you'd have a check of the relationship database tools relationships to see what fields that are in the tables that you need to use in your query. So I need type of service, number of job hours, and service charge. So number of job hours will be from the job table, so I need the job table as well. So there's the three fields I need: type of service, service charge, and number of job hours. If I run this query, then you'll see that it has all the information, but it's clearly not the summary information that I need according to the report view. So if I just save that as DB5, I'm going to use that then in my report. So I now create. If I create a report from these fields, if I just bring the fields across, and I want to group it by if I want to group it by type of service, so it allows me to do these summary option calculations. So I'm just going to select job because there's no grouping options here, but in the next step in the wizard, then I can select type of service as the grouping option. That will allow me then to get summary options, which will allow me to calculate subtotals for service charge. So I click on summary options and click on the sum for service charge. Now I should be able to do a sum for job number hours as well. So that should give me these two totals here. Plus it will also give me the grand totals at the bottom. Now it says, do I want to sort them? You'll notice that type of service is sorted in alphabetical order. So I need to sort it by, it actually might be sorted in the query already. Portrait is fine. Click and finish. Okay. And you'll see that it's shown maybe a bit too much detail here. If I just close the print preview, and if I take out this information, you can start to customize the report to make it look more like what appears in on the question paper. So again, you're just flicking between design view and report view. So I need to change the fields, the labels, the page headers, to make them look like what you see in the report. And service charge, and the title is summary of hours and service charge by type of service. So again, flick back and forth. So I don't need this information in here. So what I can do is I can I should be able to delete it. Yeah. And if I just collapse that, so there's the header, type of service header, so that's the grouping level, and the type of service footer then allows me to put in the grouping level information calculations. So if I don't have a grouping level, I don't have the ability to do grouping level calculations. So that's the two calculations. So move them just jiggle them about a wee bit. I can get rid of that because that's not needed in the grouping level. Close that there up, and you now should see it starting to take shape. I can also, I guess this isn't needed for the actual report itself, but you can get rid of the border style and make it transparent so it's not a line around the calculations. And I don't need this date at the bottom, so I can take out that and page numbers as well and close that section of the report up. And the only other thing I would need to do is, I guess, tighten it up a wee bit. Move those fields up. Oh. And that should be it. And that's a 10-mark question.